and my friend were wondering about this exact thing. So I can look into it.
Yeah, you can take a picture
Just
of the board. Yeah, you can take a picture of the board.
Thank you.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her and give accusations of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her.
So that's why I was saying in the beginning, it wasn't lawful for a man to just take a woman because he could come up with an evil accusation and not even want to deal with her after he didn't mess with her, okay? According to the scripture. Go ahead.
And say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
Yeah, meaning in other words, a virgin. Somebody else didn't mess with her, okay? So that's why Joseph didn't want to go through that ceremony, because if he would have went through that ceremony and they wouldn't found that token of virginity, then Mary would have been in trouble. Go ahead.
So, verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel.
That's why they had that token of virginity. So they can't come up with no excuse to leave her and say that she wasn't no virgin. See? That's why they had it. Okay? Go ahead.
And her mother take and bring forth the token of the damsel's virginity.
See? Go ahead.
Unto the elders of the city and the gate.
So that's why you have to have that token of virginity, because if a man was to sleep with her, he could come up with some excuse, right, to say she wasn't no virgin. No, that's why they go through that ceremony so they can have it, and they would take it to the elders if that man was lying. Say, nah, she's a virgin. You lying on her. Go ahead. So they couldn't. So he couldn't. So that's why Joseph didn't want to make her a public example. That's why he put away privately. Okay, because they already had sex, man. It already took place, man. Okay, and then Joseph was looking at that situation. He was an upright man. He was an upright man, and he was looking at it like, dang, I didn't mess with her, and you know, without giving a dowry to her father. Man, we in a situation, we in a predicament. In the ancient world, back then, hey man, Mary would have been put to death, man. She could have been put to death. So that's why Joseph didn't, when we gonna go back to Matthew, that's why Joseph put her away privately, and that's when that's why the angels came to Joseph and said, no, it's all right. We gonna read it, but go ahead.
All right, this is verse 16. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her.
Yeah, and he hated her. Go ahead.
And lo, he has given accusation of speech against her, saying, I have found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
Yeah, see? Go ahead.
And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
Yeah, go ahead.
And they shall immerse? And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel.
Go ahead.
And she shall be his wife, and he may not put her away all his days.
Go ahead.
But if this thing be true, and the token of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house.
Where was Mary at? At her father's house. Go ahead.
And the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die.
See? So that's why Joseph put her away privately, because there was a serious act back then, man. What they doing today, man? Nah. It wouldn't have went on like that back in the ancient world. Nah, these women getting pregnant in their father's house. Nah, that wouldn't have went on in the ancient world. That was them in the ancient world. them Pharisees was out for blood, man. They was out for blood, man. They was over righteous. So, you know, they was wise in their own mind. And then they really didn't understand the scriptures. So they would have seen that take place. Oh, she would have been put to death, man. They would have killed her. They would have stoned her. So that's why when it happened and they didn't go through that ceremony, that's why Joseph was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So continue.
Because she had brought fully in Israel.
Folly.
Oh, selected. She had brought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from amongst you.
See that? So that's why Joseph put her away privately. Okay? Now you starting to understand the customs and why Joseph done what he done. Okay? All right, so go to the next one. Okay, go ahead.
All right, this is verse 22. If a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man and that lay with the woman, and the woman, so shalt thou put away evil from Israel.
All right. Go ahead.
This is Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So that's what Joseph did. Okay? He enticed her, man. So when she went up to Judea, when she was over Elizabeth's house, she went up, and that's when she ran into Joseph, and Joseph enticed her. Okay? And like we was reading in Luke, what was it, the first chapter? Yeah, Luke the first chapter. Luke the first chapter, it said the Most High will overshadow her, will cause her to come in heat. So when Joseph was talking to her, she was getting hot, man, and he ended up popping. That's what had happened, man. So read that again.
This is Exodus chapter 22, verse 16. And if a man entice maid that is not betrothed and lie with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Go ahead.
If her father utterly refuse to give her unto him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins.
Yeah. Okay. So that's it on that. You know, the key word I wanted to bring out was entice, because that's what Joseph did. Man. Matter of fact, we can look up the word entice right there. And then we're gonna go back. Whoever got it first. Yeah. We're looking up the word entice right there, right? And then man, I got to think. All right, what did he say to you, Bun?
I should have told y'all. We could ask them.
Huh?
I should have told y'all. You should have asked them.
What did he say?
He asked me, have any white folks, so-called, been buying messing with y'all? I told him, no.
He in other words, he was protecting us.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been a guard, huh?
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake, a police officer came up here and was asking Bun on the other side, was any of these Edomites bothering us? Nah, we all right, we good. All right, man, that's Romans 13, man. Okay? That's Romans 13th chapter. But the word entice, right? Patha, and it means to let me see. It says to be simple, entice, deceive, persuade. So what it is when you entice a woman, you hit her with certain things, right, and persuade her to give up the box. You fast talking.
She's gone in the head, man.
Yeah. So that's what Joseph did. Joseph fast talked him. Hey, and she was hot, and he ended up popping her, man. So I'm gonna show you something. Now that's it on that. That's it on that particular scripture, right? And we leaving Deuteronomy, and we going where now? We going where? Going back to Matthew. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you something in Matthew to prove my point. So, right, Joseph persuaded her. You know what I'm saying? He fast talked, right? And he ended up popping, right? So we finna go back to Matthew. Now, going back to Matthew, right? All right, but I want you to jump up, and then we're gonna jump back to 20. We're gonna look up that word in Matthew 1 and 18. We're gonna look up that word espouse. We're gonna look up that, and one of y'all, give me I can go to it. I can go to it on my phone. But y'all loaded. I'm gonna show you something. Now, when you look that word up, espouse, it's basically to be married, okay, to be engaged, okay. But it also says woo. Yeah, be promised to marry, to be engaged, and then it also says to woo, right? Got the word woo there, right? So I'm gonna show you something. You got it there, you see it? To be wooed, it said to be what else?
To woo her and ask her in marriage, to be promised in marriage, to be
betrothed. Okay, so now we finna look up that word woo. We can go to the we gonna go to hey, I got y'all hold something, so make sure when you go to when you look up the word woo, right? But that's not what I wanted. I'm gonna go to the freedictionary.com, right? The freedictionary.com woo. Let's say woo and freedictionary.com. It's saying woo. Man, that's crazy. That's Satan, man. Crazy.
Because I thought you did when I was there.
Alright. So we looking at the word woo, right? And we went to the freedictionary.com. That's where we went. And we looked up the word woo, right? Woo, right? It says to seek the affection of someone, especially a woman, with the intent to marry or begin a romantic relationship. So, hey, man, he was hitting her with certain things, and he ended up messing with her. You know what I'm saying? It ended up being like a one-night stand, man. Okay? That's what had happened, man.
She's like, I can't feel it.
Yeah, he said the right words at the right time, and she was hot, and he ended up laying down with her, man. And she ended up getting pregnant. You know? That's what had happened, man. So you look up that word, we look up the word espouse, right? Okay, we got that. So when you look up that word espouse, right, it means the word woo is in there. And it basically means to seek the affection of someone, especially a woman, with the intent to marry or begin a romantic relationship. So, hey, man, before they came together and taking part in that ceremony to where her father would give her away, it was too late. Joseph was already laid down with her. It was too late, okay? So that's why he put her away privately, and that's why he didn't make her a public example, because she was still in her father's house. And they didn't have that token of dowry, and she was a virgin, and he ended up breaking that hymen. It was over with. They had no evidence, and he could have easily said, nah, I don't like her, I don't want to be with her, she ain't right. Nah, man, that's why they needed that token of virginity, and he had to pay a dowry, okay, to the father, because what you're doing is taking a servant out of that household, okay? Okay, so jump down to Matthew's 1 and 20.